Jersey. It's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. See Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here's Jones throwing on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from a defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen, broke off his pass rush, and then get back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just one-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped up a few long jaunts as well.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Prescott with a throw caught by Lamb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And He'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 66 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. A first down carry for Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
From the gun, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down 2nd and right at a yard. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands and see how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he's got it. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys, they push on in front further.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8-ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Giants nothing.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Pass on target. Prescott to Cooper. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He's going to take off with it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. This is Elliott. Still, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
Greg Zerline to kick off for Dallas.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up, this one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 23. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Prescott now from the 50. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. CeeDee Lamb with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. Then the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Come on, boys!
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, they'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Finds his tight end Ingram. And oh, he coughed it up.
That's good for a Giants. 1st down.
Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck.
Barkley hit and the ball pops free. It's picked up by the Cowboys. There he goes, right side. 30, 10.
They are not ready for us.
And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
Been there, done that.
This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will make it into the end zone, and this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
To throw again on second down. Jones looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Now Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And now running right through him. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Xavier McKinney brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Toss left to Elliott. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, the good news, they got the stop defensively. The bad news, this is a huge hole that they're in right now. How do they start to dig out of it?
That's a great question because we're not even going to talk about how do they win it, right? We want to see how they can kind of claw back and at least make themselves feel better about the game because this one is likely out of reach, but maybe one possession at a time. Try and play a little bit better and have some respect when you come out of the game.
On 1st down, Barkley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 4.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley, and the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now this throw caught left side and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Inside 4 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. This is caught. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 55 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in. And this offense is running away with this one.
Lining up for the point after.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going,
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball in the quarterback's hands clicking up? A few other factors they have to look at to try and help them. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Open man right side is Ingram. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The completion good for 86, and that'll bring up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
20-yard line.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Again, it's Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott, the ball carrier.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Looking to throw. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys add on. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 31 yards. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
25-yard line.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And he took the ball off course.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
If he's the best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. This ball complete. Jones to Ingram. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Jones. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Jones. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing, Jones. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Throwing again, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, Parker, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard.
New York ready to go again offensively. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Jones now on 3rd and 2. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Cowboys. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. 2nd and 1 from the 2. They'll run with Elliott, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And New York set to take the field.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Jones to throw on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Here's Jones on 1st down. Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play here for the Cowboys. 44 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been
and he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram. That catch good for only a couple.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones to Shepard, complete over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Looking sideline, incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a...
Jones hit, and the ball's out. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now Jones throwing on third and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Aldon Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.